It's week 10 of the NFL season, and we've got a nice week of games for prop betting. If you like to add another layer of fun to watching NFL on Sundays, I've got you covered this week with a few touchdown props. So let's drop that intro and get right into the goods. Welcome back to the DFSG Plus YouTube channel. My name is Axton Harding, and on this show, each and every week, I lay out a handful of touchdown props that I like for any given week of the NFL season. This week, we're covering week 10, and I usually have between 4 and 6 plays or so for touchdown props that I like specifically, whether it be guys that are in good matchups on hot streaks, got some momentum, or guys that might be in particularly good matchups and maybe due for a touchdown or find the end zone. I like to look at some red zone stats. I like to look at stats allowed by the opposing defenses. So I'll make my angle. You guys see if you like the case. If you do, and you feel like tailing, feel free to throw that in the comments. If there's guys that you like in particular, feel free to throw that in the comments as well, and let's see if we can help each other out here. So let's jump right into the meat of the show and get to our touchdown props. So our first play this week is Sam LaPorta to score an anytime touchdown at plus 145 at the Washington Commanders this week. And LaPorta, for this Detroit Lions team, he just so happens to be a go-to target for Jared Goff early on a weekly basis. I went back several weeks leading up to this game, and they get Sam LaPorta involved as soon as the very first drive. So, and you want to look at recency stats where Sam LaPorta's got 3 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks of play, and outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown on the season, he's also the got the most looks in the red zone as well, and he's converted 2 of his 5 targets into touchdowns within the red zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets going early in this game, and it wouldn't surprise me if he scores his in the first quarter, first half. This team really likes to go to the tight end position very early in games. So then you want to talk about the matchup against Washington. It just so happens to be a top end matchup for stats allowed to the tight end position as of the last 4 weeks, where the Washington Commanders have given up 4 tight end touchdowns to the position in the last 4 weeks. So this just happens to be a pretty good matchup here for Sam LaPorta with his early and heavy involvement in the passing game, coupled with a good matchup where Washington's just been generous to the position as of late as well. So I think Sam LaPorta is in a good spot to find the end zone this week. Let's talk about Dalton Kincaid is the second play this week. His anytime touchdown price is plus 205 against a Miami Dolphins team. Dalton Kincaid is having himself a year in Buffalo. He's got 2 100-plus yard receiving games to go with 4 touchdowns on the year, and he's Josh Allen's most reliable big-bodied target in the passing game. There's not really another pass catcher on this team that's got the kind of talent and reliability that Dalton Kincaid has shown so far this season. He's also converted 2 of his 5 red zone targets into touchdowns on this season. And this matchup against Miami is shaping up actually to be a pretty good one, where Miami is struggling to guard the tight end position so far this year, especially as of late. They've given up 3 tight end touchdowns in the last couple of weeks. So I think Dalton Kincaid finds himself in a very good matchup, a good spot this week to potentially find the end zone. If they get in close and get in scoring position, Dalton Kincaid should be one of the first ones to get a look in the red zone and hopefully find pay dirt. So, like that matchup, like the spot for Dalton Kincaid this week. So let's jump into our third play of the week. We've got Keenan Allen for an anytime touchdown. His price is plus 190 at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Keenan Allen is just plain old due for attention. He's kind of coming off of a slow stretch of the last few games. He's definitely due to have kind of a bounce back week, and this just so happens to be a plus matchup for the wide receiver position. He's handily leading the team in red zone targets on the season. He's got 12 targets, and he's converted 4 of them, or a third of them, into touchdowns so far this season. Justin Herbert as well has thrown for multiple touchdowns in more games than he hasn't. So there's just been 4 games on the season where Justin Herbert has thrown only a single passing touchdown, and not to mention all of the LA Chargers pass catchers are locked in at generous plus money this week to score at least plus 170 or better. And for a team who has a number of pass catchers who have a knack for finding the end zone, coupled with a quarterback who is more often than not throwing for multiple scores, this just is a buffet of plus money that if you even throw it on a few guys, chances are you're probably going to hit on a couple of them. Again, the history would lend to that idea where if you placed a bet on McConkey, a straight bet on McConkey, Johnston, and Keenan Allen, chances are you're gonna cash out on one or possibly even two this week. So Keenan Allen, I think, is a guy who's due for some more attention as they get in close within scoring position. Again, this is just outstanding odds for a number of players who have just been able to find the end zone this season, and couple that with a quarterback who's second in the league in passing touchdowns with, 18 passing touchdowns on the season. And then we talk about the matchup, and it's not really a top end matchup for the wide receiver position, where Pittsburgh's allowed 4 wide receiver touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. But it's not really going to matter here. We're more targeting a high-powered offense with great touchdown prices as opposed to a good matchup here. So I like this spot for Keenan Allen to find the end zone and get back to finding pay dirt in Week 10. So let's talk about our last play this week. Our fourth play is Dallas Goedert. Yes, we've got plenty of tight ends on the slate this week. I like Dallas Goedert's anytime touchdown price at plus 225 against Green Bay this week. He is having himself a career year in Philadelphia, and not to lend to that, he's got 7 touchdowns on the season in 10 weeks of play. He's scored 6 touchdowns in the last 7 weeks, and he's got 2 games of multiple scores as well. So not to mention he's caught all 7 of his targets within the 20 and converted on 6 of them. That's an insane conversion rate. He's scored 6 touchdowns on 7 red zone targets and caught all of his targets inside the 20. It doesn't get any easier for Goedert when they get into scoring position. They look to him often when they get within the 20. And so I honestly can't even believe that with the number of touchdowns that Goedert has scored this season, how often he's found pay dirt, that his touchdown price for this week is plus 225. You're looking at over tripling your money if just 1 touchdown cashes on this one. Philadelphia is also playing the Green Bay Packers, as I mentioned, and that's a team that's kind of been very up and down this season, but generally they're not great at guarding the tight end position, and they've allowed 3 touchdowns to the position in the last 4 weeks. But I'm more targeting the usage. Dallas Goedert, hasn't really mattered the kind of matchup that he's looking at. On any given week, the guy's scored in 6 of his last 7. And you remember the red zone usage and conversion rate that I just rattled off. 7 of his red zone targets, he's caught all of them, converted 6 of them. We're looking at a great conversion rate and a good spot for Dallas Goedert to find the end zone in Week 10. So that's going to wrap it up. We've got Sam LaPorta with an anytime touchdown at plus 145 against the Washington Commanders. Dalton Kincaid with an anytime touchdown price at plus 205 against the Miami Dolphins. We've got Keenan Allen with an anytime touchdown price at plus 190 at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then we've got Dallas Goedert to wrap it up with an anytime touchdown price at plus 225 against the Green Bay Packers this week. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If any of these angles speak to you, let me know in the comments. And again, if you've got any good plays for this week, please feel free to share them in the comments. And I'm always just interested to see what people have to say and what people think of the information at hand, or maybe if you can add more value as well to the conversation. So let me know if you like what you see. If not, then hopefully you've got some plays in your back pocket. Go ahead and check out the rest of the DFSG Plus YouTube channel. There's plenty of prop bets to make your Sunday all that more fun. But I just want to remind everybody to set a limit and stick to it. Gamble responsibly, everybody. Don't be betting the mortgage on any one player, any play at all. As a matter of fact, this is all just fun, and it's more just lending reasoning to plays that I'm making for myself. So if you like the angle, feel free to tail, and let's just have some fun this week. Hopefully we can cash a few of these bets and make some extra money to take those families out to a nice little dinner, or just have some extra scratch in your pocket this week. So good luck, everybody out there, and have fun watching your Week 10 NFL football. And we'll see you back next week for another edition of the IDP Plus, or of the DFSG Plus Touchdown Prop Show. So we see you next week, everybody.